Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. It's your friendly neighborhood streamer, Yentra here, and we are going to be taking a look at the last day, hitting the last day of the expo. Today they will be showing the best in show. And I've got some big decisions to make here. Now I'm told we have until the 1st, including the 1st, to make some decisions here on what we might want to do to swap certain things out in our hangar. And I myself have got a little bit of a game plan going here of what I'm going to do. In fact, some of the things I'm doing are swapping out, believe it or not, just kind of doing all the math and checking all the exchange rates and everything. And I'm going to probably be melting and rebuying some ships to either get, for a small amount of money, get an insurance bump, or actually just swapping out some ships to get some more store credit for the same ship. So it's pretty exciting.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
One ship that I didn't think that I was going to want, that I think I do, is the Vulcan. Vulcan is a in-concept ship. It is the refuel, repair, restock ship. So one man kind of all in one. I think that's going to be a great ship to have. And the loaner for that is the Starfarer. So I took that out the other day. You can see I've got it rented here, but that's going to go away. And I think I'll have this Starfarer in my hangar until I get the ship I really want. And that's a pretty good trade. Because I really do want the repair and restock along with the refuel would be great. So the Starfarer, if you buy that outright, it's a $300 ship. But you can buy the Vulcan for $200. So yeah, kind of something I didn't expect. But I definitely am excited about that one. And I think it is going to be a nice little money maker, Space Bub, and welcome to the stream, by the way. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing. The other thing I'm going to be doing is probably, now that I have the Pisces, which is really, I think, the better of the two options that we have available for Med, that is until, of course, I think the Apollo comes out. I think that's going to be more of a higher end medical rescue ship. But of course that's in concept, but you get the Cutlass Red as a loaner. So I'm going to be melting my Red and upgrading to an Apollo and get the Red back in my hangar. So I'll still have the Red, kind of an investment to the future. Which isn't necessarily the best way to go, but I'm also melting a couple of ships that I don't use. I'm probably going to end up buying a raft. I love that raft. In fact, I should claim it and make sure I take the paint off that.
Your insurance claim
But we're going to head to the expo first, but just kind of walking you through my strategy here. I did look at repurchasing a few things, check some exchange rates, and boy, oh boy, did I get a great deal on my 600i. Realized that I actually am about $270 in the positive for that single ship. If I were to try to buy that new today, it would have been right around 250, 270, I think, more than what I paid for it. So I got a great deal on that. So kind of just also just double checking things. The 400i right now, if I sell that and rebuy it for the same amount of money, I'll get a better insurance package, which to me isn't a big deal. But if I can do the swap, I might as well get that extra insurance because, you know, it's a significant more. I think I have like 3 month, and it's either a 10-year or a 6 month if you buy right now on the 400i. So I'm going to be taking care of that. I'm tempted to get rid of these 325As. One of them is a purchase, and the other one is either a loaner, probably a loaner. I did discover some other things about my fleet. The Vandu Scythe and my second prospector. You see, I actually have two prospectors here. Well, the Scythe and the second prospector here is the loaner for the Expanse. So that's a mystery solved. I wasn't sure how I got the Scythe and why they included that. That's a really interesting mix because the prospector is only, I want to say, around $150 or something like that US, and the Expanse was only $90 when I paid for it. So getting two ships for the price of one there. I briefly considered melting one of my prospectors, the one I own, and I might do that because for just $5 more, I can get double the insurance. So yeah, it's a $5 investment for insurance, which is probably not going to be, you know, all that great. But it just seems like with all the store credit I'll end up with quite a bit more store credit, even after all these things that I'm describing. So I'll end up back with the Cutlass Red. I'm going to buy... I guess it's a sign I've been rambling on too much. We could talk about this while we fly, but it's nice to see the ships here. I'll end up with a Gladius, and I think I'm going to get the Valiant variant. So this is an in-game purchase, which will be in my hangar permanently. The Arrow is a loaner, or, you know, part of a purchase. The Pisces I'm going to keep, and that's going to replace my Cutlass Red. Although I'll end up, eventually it will replace it entirely when the Apollo comes out. So that's the second concept ship I'm interested in. And keeping the Valk, keeping the Nox, keeping the Mole. Going to purchase the Raft because I've got some store credit to eat up. And they really just, when I did the math and tried to really kind of look at everything that I wanted in my hangar at the end of this expo, I want the Raft. So, and then when the wipe happens, I want to have some cargo hauling, and the Raft will be nice for that. In fact, I'm probably going to pick up a hull B or a C. And if I pick up a hull A or, a B or a C, I'll get the hull A temporarily. So that would kind of be money in for an investment for a ship that should be coming. Now, I think the hulls are going to come faster than some of the other concept ships because they really are similar to one another, significantly similar to one another than a lot of the other variant or the upgraded line of ships. So I think, you know, there's a little faith in that, but I will have a hull A to tinker around in while I play around with, or waiting for that concept ship to become a reality. So the hull A's. Now I do have a Drake Caterpillar that I purchased in game, and I may pull some of that stuff back and put it into a Caterpillar to have that in game. I don't know if I love the Caterpillar enough to put some real money into that, or if that's just going to be one of those ships I rebuy in game. And that actually also goes for the Crusader, going the wrong way, Hercules. I love this ship, but I don't know right now. Actually, I was looking at ways of getting this as a loaner, so I may find a ship that I really want that provides the C2 Hercules as a loaner. Now, the Merchantman is one of those ships, so I would really like to have a Merchantman when that thing comes out. And the loaner for that is I believe the C2 is one of the two ships that you get. for a loaner. And the other, let's see here, is the Defender. So, not wild about the Defender. That's one of the alien ships, sort of the crab-looking ship. But so I've got some big decisions to make. Corsair, I really did put some more thought about whether or not I wanted that ship, and I think I'm going to pass. I think I can live without the Corsair. So I'll end up back with the Cutlass Red when I get that Apollo, and I will end up with a Starfarer when I get the Vulcan, and then I'll permanently get. I'm going to get a bump on the Prospector, and I'll probably keep. I'll permanently get the Raft, as I mentioned. Valkyrie I'm going to keep, and I'll probably end up with a Hull A when this is all said and done, and a Gladius. So all of that store credit shifting around, I'll end up with some of the same ships, but I'll end up with some new ones. So I'm kind of excited about that. And it's all, if I do all of this, I lose no ships, and I still have store credit to eat up. So, yeah. I'm probably also going to do a swap on the 400i. It's a even exchange. If I melt this and rebuy it, I'll end up with more insurance. So, yeah, a lot of the ships will be the same, but I don't want to lose the 400i, the 600i. Actually, I'm going to really hang on to that one. I can't believe how much money I've saved. That's the big price discrepancy between what I paid for it and what its value exchange is, or for you to buy new. So yeah, over $200 difference on the 600i. So that one's staying in my hangar. And of course, that's really like kind of buying a loaner. It's like buying a concept ship that has itself as a loaner, because they're going to rework the 600i, and when they do, I don't know. I bet that price even bumps even more. I don't know, or maybe they've repriced it with the rework in mind for the 600i that I have. So I might go look at the other variant. I've got the Explorer. I might look at the Touring and see if, what the price discrepancies are there, and end up with both of those as a ship that just immediately went up in value. Scorpius, I'm probably going to pass. I just rented the Constellation Phoenix. In fact, let's take that to
Vehicle selected.
the expo, and then we can finish the rest of this conversation while I'm doing something. But
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
and yeah, the MSR drop hammer, and welcome to the show. I'm thinking I might melt my MSR, which was a CCU, and that's the other thing. I just kind of want to clean up my hangar. I've got a lot of CCUs in there, and so looking through the list, I've got like several Auroras that were purchased and CCU'd with that game plan in mind. So I think the MSR is one of those ones. It's actually going to cost me a little money. The exchange rate is just under what the purchase price is of that. But right now I could get the best in show because I don't have any paint on my MSR. But for a little bit of money, I get an insurance upgrade, a paint, and then it does a little cleanup in my hangar, so I don't have any. I truly do have the original MSR. So that might be another quick swap. I have tons of notes on this. I spent, a couple of hours last night and this morning over coffee. I was literally just like looking and trying to do all the different swaps and things that I had readily available to me. Wanted to end up with, there's certain ships you don't want to lose. And then there was actually some ships where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy, like, for example, the Galaxy, because I wouldn't mind having a Carrack. But I do a lot more solo playing than I do playing with others, and the Carrack is not a great solo ship. You have no guns. Yeah, Space Pub, that's the plan. I'm going to go with the Best in Show MSR. And same value, plus you get that Best in Show paint. We're going to go check that ship out and the other Best in Shows. We're going to go check those out right now. So I'm kind of excited. It's, you know, it's like just moving around money that's already spent, and I'll end up with a bunch of new ships, and I'll have money left over. I will still have some money left over. So this is really the first time in store credit, of course, but this is really the first time I've really gone through my entire fleet, and just does it make sense? Because, you know, I didn't put a lot of strategy into buying my ships. I just wanted the ship, went and bought it, and that's been kind of my history, you know, in the game. So that's we can't quantum leap to ladders. We want to go to microtech. Boy, wouldn't it be cool if you could just drop a ladder somewhere and as a makeshift jump point? So yeah, I'm kind of excited. Yeah, the red alert paint is pretty cool. So yeah, let me pull my notes out to make sure I didn't miss anything from what I just described. So we're going to get the Vulcan. We're going to get the Gladius. So that'll be permanently in my hangar. I'm going to melt the red. And then I'm going to do a quick swap on some cleanup on my C1. It was an upgrade. That's just going to be a quick swap. I upgraded a Hawk, and I just like to get the Hawk out of there. Same price. Might as well buy flat out by the concept straight out. If it's just a money swap, and that will keep that'll put a Cutlass Black in my hangar. Which I have already. That's the loaner for the C1. The MSR, I'm going to melt that and rebuy it. Again, a little bit of money there spent, but I have so much store credit, it's worth it for some of that credit to go to the Best in Show MSR, and that'll be a straight out purchase of the MSR instead of the long CCU chain I have on that one. The Prospector, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to melt my owned Prospector. Now, I could just melt that and leave it and use my loaner Prospector with the Expanse, but I want to have my Prospector. So if the Expanse comes out tomorrow, I don't want that thing going away. Of course, there's no danger in that, but I want to keep a Prospector. I want to keep an owned Prospector, not a loaner. And I don't actually mind having two Prospectors because I have loaned that out to people in game. So just a little bit of money there to get a big bump in insurance. And then I'm going to pick up the Raft. Like I said, either the Hull A or Hull B. And then I'm going to buy the Apollo. Now, when I buy the Apollo, I will get essentially the Cutlass Red will come back to my fleet because that's the loaner for that. And then I'm going to do the 400i swap because the 400i, for the same money, my exchange rate is exactly the same amount as the purchase rate of the one on sale now, but I'll get a huge insurance bump on that. So lots of movement, and I'm still not fully convinced that I'm done. But those are the basic ones that I'm interested in. And so really what I want to look at is there a loaner ship that I really would like to have right now? And then I'll look at the ship that I would have to buy in concept. Or is there, of course, a ship that I really want that's available? And I've kind of gone through and really looked at all the ships. Now, I had enough store credit built up that I could remove the ships I don't use and don't want, that I could have bought a pretty big ship. But that doesn't seem like that's the move for me today, because looking at the big ships that I would be able to afford either with full store credit or with a small investment, I didn't really see anything that I really liked, or more importantly, in the immediacy, I didn't really like the loaner ships. Like, I would have ended up with a third prospector, or, you know, something like that. And I just didn't really see anything that really kind of jumped right out at me as something I might have and want to have. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I'm surprisingly excited about the Starfarer. Because I think that's a really good upgrade for me, because, you know, I might just go out and take the Starfarer out and refuel people. That might just be fun. Of course, it's a little buggy, but it'll get better with each patch. And that way, when the Vulcan comes out, it's like, okay, yeah, now I get some extra functionality, the repair and restock, which that is just going to be awesome. So I don't know how long the Vulcan's going to be. It's probably going to be a while, year, more than that. But that's okay. The Starfarer is a good substitute for me until I get there with the Vulcan. And I think for the price of the concept of that, it's going to probably be, I think it's going to be substantially more when that thing comes out. I think to the tune of, $70, maybe even up to $150. I don't know. That's just a random guess, but seems to me like buying a ship that can do all that for $200 US seems to me like a good buy. So, and then getting the Starfarer, which, if you think about it, if you buy that ship, you can buy it in game, of course, but if you buy it with real money, that's $300. So I'm essentially getting a $300 ship for $200 while I wait for the ship that I really want, which will probably be $300. So I think that's a good deal for me, for my gameplay. And hopefully I get to use the Starfarer. I know it's kind of one of those ships that people say that they're going to use, and then the excitement of refueling falls off. But looking forward to that, and looking forward to some of these other ones. Like, just to say that I have this ship that I really like, like the Raft. I've been really liking the Raft, and for cargo, it's not the best, but eventually it will be. It'll be good once the external cargo refactor has a huge advantage. And it's kind of cool that I'm bumping up on the insurance. Be giving you guys a better view. This is the Phoenix. And I briefly looked at this ship too. It has limited stock. You can't buy this ship. I believe at one point it was limited, but now I believe this is on display at Area 18. And on Lorville, rather. Sorry. So it is a luxury ship, but I mean, if you have a 600i and you have a 400i, I'm pretty tapped out on the old luxury ship category. I think a Phoenix would be probably, most people would agree that that's the lower tier, that Origin makes the better luxury vehicles than RSI does. But we'll see with the E2 or E1 when that comes out. That's their first real, I think, entry into luxury in the modern wave of this game. So that should be pretty interesting to see. Yeah, so I think, Space Bob says that the Starfire was fun to mess around with the other day, and to kind of learn how it all works. And that it's really an investment to Pyro. I agree. I think the Pyro is where that becomes the most valuable, right? But in the interim, I'll just have to get creative with how we use the Starfarer. And in fact, I think one of the things that would be really interesting is a little bit of science. And that would be just to know where your refuel spot is on your ship. Have you ever wondered that? I have, And I'm very interested to find out where the prospector's refuel access point is, because there's that mystery thing in the back of the prospector that we can't figure out what it is, but it looks like a display panel and probably has something to do with the pods, but maybe not. So a lot of mystery there. I looked and looked and looked for any information on that, and I couldn't figure it out. So just to rule out that that is not the fuel intake, that would be kind of cool. So yeah, I think if you're going to look at luxury, kind of going back. So the Starfarer, I'm sorry, let me finish up my thought with the Starfarer. With the Starfarer, I think that is definitely going to be just something to take out and lose money. Maybe I can find an org or something that's doing an event and they really need refuel. But beyond that, I can't really see practical use for it quite yet. But when the Vulcan comes out, oh, yeah. I mean, right now, honestly, the Vulcan has a use in the game. Imagine Space Pub, if you're like you're doing your bounties, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to restock. Okay, great. Fly to the Vulcan, land, or I would come to you, right? The person with the Vulcan would come to you. Boom. Now you're right back in the fight. That would be cool to be able to do that. So obviously the Vulcan has a ton of questions around it, like how does it restock? But you'd be in one ship and you'd have, I think, quite a bit of an investment in credits to keep armory, to keep fuel, and I'm assuming repair is going to cost something. Hopefully it's a moneymaker, though. Hopefully the person flying the Vulcan can make some money. But for the convenience factor, you could use the Vulcan today in the game more than you can the Starfarer, because I think refueling is the least of our worries at this point. I very rarely, unless you're a new player, you can't even really jump and set a jump point anymore to a place that you can't go. So it used to be, just before the last patch, where some of these space stations didn't have refueling capabilities. They were just Lagrange points, so you could go there and just look at some rocks. And I think that fooled a lot of first-time players or early players who, didn't recognize that, oh no, I can't refuel here. So all those have kind of gone away, and now we have refueling is prominent, and then unless the game is bugged, you really don't need refueling. So it's an interesting time. It's a good time to kind of take a look at your fleet, look at what ships you have, look at what ships you want, take a look at the specifics of the ship. What is I wouldn't prioritize insurance, but if you could get a swap like I have, 2 swaps here that I'm going to be doing and getting significantly more insurance, why not? Just sell and rebuy the same exact ship and get yourself another 6 months insurance. That's a pretty good deal. So again, I wouldn't lose too much money, if any, really, on the insurance bump, because that's probably not going to be a big deal. They have mentioned that. They have definitely said, developers have said, and Star Citizen Weekly, it's been mentioned multiple times, that they don't want insurance to be a costly thing. It's going to be a small amount of credits maybe that you buy in game, just to keep your ship around. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are some decisions. We're going to head to the expo. We are heading to the expo. And when we get there, we'll check out the best in show. From that sound, it sounds like we're getting close. Let's see how close we are. Oh yeah, we're getting very close to Microtech. yeah, so just looking for a reason to take this rental out. I didn't really do too much exploration of this ship. I did an RSI day. I did go into this ship and look at the luxury features. But honestly, I think this might be the first ship that CGI did that they did on luxury. I think this may have been like their first ever ship where they're like, hey, let's make a luxury variant. But they had already been working on the Jump, and they had already been working on some of the other ships. But this, you can see, is kind of a forced luxury. It doesn't, holistically, this ship doesn't really match itself. You've got one very distinct looking non-luxury look in the cockpit, and also in the other back section. So, hey Mordred, welcome to the show. I just kind of went over all my things. I took a deep dive in my hangar last night. Spent a good couple of hours just looking at the options I had, and kind of looking and really surprised at a couple of things. The first thing I was very surprised by is my 600i. I did buy that at a heck of a savings, something to the tune of $200 and some dollars. That I have that ship. If I were to buy it brand new right now, I would be out $200. But then a couple of the other ships I looked at, and I'll kind of run through those again at some point just to validate my buying. But I think the way it's going to end up, I'm going to end up with all of the ships that I have now. I'm going to clean up my hangar, get rid of some of the CCU chaining, and that'll either be an even swap of money just to clean those up and get more insurance, because everyone that I checked, I'm getting at least 6 more months insurance, and then in some cases, a small dollar amount to do that. But I'm not putting too much priority on insurance. But others, I'm actually going to save some money if I rebuy it. And then I'll get, kind of a loaner ship. If I'm buying some concept ships that will get me the loaner ships that I would like to use until I get the real ships. So kind of think I've got everything sort of worked out. No real questions. The only problem I have, honestly, is that after I do all my swapping, melting, rebuying, melting, buying a concept, getting a loaner, I'm going to end up with about $150 left in store credit. And I'll have all the ships that I have now, and I'll have some upgraded. Some of that is going to be investing into the insurance upgrade, which again, I gave myself like, hey, if it's within $5 or $10, I'll do the insurance upgrade, but no more. And so with all of that said, after I do all of that, I'll end up with 4 new ships and like $150 store credit. So I think my strategy is sound. Now, here's the thing, as all buyers know, and if you don't know me, I'm an impulse buyer, and that's a bad thing to be, by the way. And if you're an impulse buyer, you know what I'm about to say, which is sometimes you'll go and you'll see something shiny and say, "Oh, I want that," and you'll kind of move things around and destroy all the hard work I've put into this nice little effort that I have. But if I can hold my own against myself and my own impulses, yeah, I'll have everything I would want. And really the only thing I kind of ended up giving up, just flat out giving up, would be the Pisces. I did end up melting the Pisces because I had purchased that. And I think that's an okay thing with the C8R. I think that makes it worth, that's a fair upgrade. And that also means it kind of, that one ship actually removed the need for me to have the Cutlass Red too. Because I think it's just a better option. Now, I'm not seeing my marker. And that's pretty typical here at the old New Babbage. One more shot here. I might be in a queue. Oh, there we go. That's good. Now, I didn't show this before, but I'm going to show this now. I don't really need to. But the Constellation has a nice little VTOL, unique to rare. It's kind of rare, but other ships do have this. But you see, it has dedicated VTOL engines, and they open up when you go into VTOL mode. So it doesn't have the more typical thing where you see the main thrusters rotate, and it certainly could potentially do that, but it has the landing gear here. So we'll put it in VTOL. It does make a difference. It's a great difference in the flight handling of this ship. So we're going to go check out the expo. Take one final pass at what's out there, and I'll end up with a Best in Show MSR. So I kind of want to look at that. And again, I'm kind of ruling out getting a Carrack. That just doesn't... It seems like a lot for a ship that I'm... me personally, I don't have like a lot of use for that. This is kind of one of the first bigger ships that I ever had, and it's not a big ship. In Star Citizen, it's considered a medium-sized ship. But when you have a starter ship, and then you upgrade and you have one of these, I didn't have this variant, but I have the Andromeda. Landing this thing is one of those things where you're kind of sweating when you're just starting out. And I just have always done vertical landing like this, where I go into third person. And I know that's cheating. I think a lot of people look down on players who do what I'm doing right now. But you know what? You can play the game how you want to play. I won't criticize you. There's no need to criticize me for this. This is a fair enough way to land a ship without, especially if you don't want to hit the ship on anything. And maybe you fly a couple of different ships and they all handle a little differently. So close that VTOL, those VTOL engines. We'll power down and head to the expo. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, so let's head on down, catch a train. And this will be the last day of the expo. So, kind of sad to see it go, but I understand. You can't keep these things around forever. But it is really nice to have, kind of access to all the ships, to sit around and talk about them. It's a big part of the game. these ships. You know, they really, I think one of the things that, the same thing with other games too. This isn't exclusive to Star Citizen by any means, but they did a very good job of offering different gameplay and making the game really change for you
Welcome.
with the acquisition of a ship. I think they did a good job with that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I was just gonna store this guy, even though it's a rental. I did take the Scorpius out yesterday, and as much as I love it, I think I'm just gonna hold on that one. And I think the Gladius is a better fit for me, so I'm just gonna hang out with the Gladius. So I'm curious if everyone has done what I did. This is a good time to do it, to kind of reevaluate what you have and do some swapping. And so really the ship that I want to kind of take a peek at, which doesn't matter, you know, I want to see the paint of the MSR. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to get that ship anyway. But we'll take a look at it, right? And yeah, maybe I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming today. I've got some things to do. And have some plans later on. So we'll stream as long as I can. And if we, I don't think this expo is going to take all that much time. But I am kind of excited to do all the melting and buying after stream. And then we'll start off tomorrow. I will be streaming at probably 4 p.m. in that vicinity, Pacific time. Drophammer says, in real life, ships like that would have auto land or include several exterior cams for landing. This is my point as well. I think that, you know, and I don't mean to tread on anyone, but you know, if you're like, oh, we got to be playing in first person, we are in the future, and we have self-driving cars. Self-parking and self-driving cars is a 2022 thing. It's been around for a while, so we're way in the future. We're 900 some years in the future. I think these ships would come with auto land. I think these ships would come with exterior cameras as well. I agree 100%. So that's what I say to myself when I jump into third person as well. You know, hey, I'm just landing the ship the way that in the future they would be able to land.
The capsule will be leaving the station.
Just kind of taking a peek here at the people. Oh boy, last time going up these stairs for a while. They just did a fantastic job. I think this convention experience, if you went there, I know some people were watching because they couldn't come here in game, but if you get the opportunity, it really is a great expo kind of feeling. So they did a great job with this convention center. And again, this is the same layout as Invictus. So there's the full schedule one last time. Today being the 27th, the best in show. And we did hear, I believe it was Mordred, I think you clarified for us that all the ships will be on sale. And for up until the 1st, including the 1st. So if you're looking to do some swapping of your ships, please know that that's kind of the deadline. It's the end of the month. So let's head to the Zenith Hall. Yeah, and what I really should be doing here is looking at ships that will eat up the rest of my store credit. Because, store credit, it's just sitting there. That's money wasted. Now, these are all the best in show paints. And I took a look at the site and saw those pop in today. As has been our tradition, let's take a look at here. Oh, so they moved the personal weapon and armor. Interesting. In the lower level, and then honoring the CDF. Okay, we gotta go check that out. But yeah, we've got the Scorpius, the Carrack, the Pisces, and the Star Runner, all of which made best in show or made it far enough that they got a free paint. And we're going to check out the one that I know I'm going to own. Oh, look, they have the number. Okay, so this came in second. Oh, look at that glass is all darkened up. That's kind of cool. In the front cockpit area. And of course, we'll get a better picture of the paint once we get in. And I'm just going to look at this one first, even though it's the second. Took second place. Oh, look at that Carrack. Obviously, should be no interior differences as far as the coloring goes, but paints don't usually apply to the interiors. Of course, the Star Runner, probably when they were doing the paint for it. There's a dude in here? No. Oh, maybe they lock this so people don't know. Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Probably when they're doing the paint rework. I bet that's when they messed up the cockpit. This looks great. Yeah, this is going to be... I bet I would be willing to bet that they locked that chair for this display. And there it is. Ooh, that looks nice. Now with all the red here in the convention center, it kind of blends in a little bit. But look at the center part. Of course, the asynchronous or asymmetry of this ship. Of course, they usually separate the colors from the wings and the center portion of the ship. But look at that nice little accents and everything over here. That's kind of cool. Oh, this ship, yeah. They did a great job with this paint. And I really like how there's that sort of red accent. Here, I'll try to get down to that. Yeah, this kind of back bar. That's cool. And then the dark gray contrast, that... Yep. Of course, then the name of the ship, I think it appears on this side. And it's on this kind of center beam here. Yeah, so I'm going to definitely be swapping out my current MSR for this one. Now let's see. I bet this chair works. The co-pilot's chair. No, it does not. Okay, so never mind what I said about them locking that chair. Yeah, they need to get back and fix that. This is a very popular ship. I hope, especially now it's best in show. It really is a ship that, unfortunately, the last patch broke. Now, of course, we'll check out number 3, and then we'll save the best, quote unquote, for last. This would be number 3, the Scorpius. Did they tie, or did they... I'm not sure why they're both number 3, I guess. Yeah, like Shippy Mc... Now, when you... I have questions about naming a ship. I don't know, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are ship specific. So if you own an MSR, you get to name... it has to be unique for the MSR. I think. That's the way I think it works. If that's the case... I'm wondering if I have to unname it before I melt it. Oh, you got the Best in Show Scorpius. Yeah, I can see why you would. It is a very sharp. Now, my 600i is Best in Show. It's a blue, but it's more of a matte finish blue, not metallic, like the Pisces blue version. Now that's kind of cool too. So now, of course, I think I'm not as big of a fan of the red on here because it's so similar to what the stock one looks like. It doesn't really stand out, and it's metallic. And the Aegis logo is kind of a purple, or not purple, but it looks. It's a white that kind of doesn't sit well on that next layer. Doesn't stand out enough. But I like this. I like the look of this guy. Okay, so we've avoided it long enough. The Carrack. Not really avoided it. Just wanted to save it for last. I knew it was going to be kind of the longer tour. Now, I've only spent a little bit of time in the Carrack. But it is definitely one of those ships that interests me. It has a med bed it has a spawn point, like the 890, but it's not really a solo ship, and they emphasize that point by not giving the pilot any access to any weaponry. So you get these big, huge bays, which would be really functional if they opened up, which it looks like they do or will. They don't currently in game, but I think this just opens up and creates a bay. And oh, you got the Carrack space web. Oh, that's cool. I guess if I knew this ship a little bit more, I would be all about it. But I know I can buy it in game if I really, really want it. So you see 3 of these bays. And then it just has a lot of space I would need to explore. Like, I don't know what's down these wings. Oh, these are turrets. Okay. This all just heads to the turret. Anvil ships are pretty easy to get around. I think they have a good logical order to them. Look at the gun racks on here. Nice. I think that's sweet. This is the elevator. So there's the hab deck. Yeah, there's the cartography deck, which you can man the ship from, and the technical deck. Yeah. Yeah, for the Galaxy, but I'm not interested in the Galaxy. But if you definitely, want a Galaxy, I believe you'll save yourself some money, some real money, right? I kind of like this ship, and I could definitely... Space Pop, so you traded the Galaxy in for a Carrack? Or did you by the galaxy with the Carrack as the loner. This, of course, takes us to the bridge. And this is the top bridge, or the cartography. And you can control the ship here standing up, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, everybody, to get to the real bridge, you can just do a quick hop down here on the glass. And this is the actual bridge. I thought there was something... No. Yeah, so I feel like this could be something, this thing that protrudes. It could be another hologram of some kind. I'm not sure. So SpaceBub says he melted the Galaxy for store credits so you could grab the Perseus and the Polaris this morning. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, okay, that's cool. This is the big selling point of this ship for me, honestly. If I did get a Carrack, it's... And of course, we saw these now on the Pisces, this kind of disinfection kind of area. But I think the Carrack, they're going to, I believe, are they not going to change these med beds? Now, what I mean by that is I think they're... we've got 2 med beds. And I don't think these are going to work for me if I lie down. Let's try. Might as well use some free food and water if it does work. Yeah, it does. But these are the lower tier, and I think it's tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 being the top tier, but there are only tier 3 and tier 2. This is a tier 3. And correct me if I've got that backwards. I always do that backwards. People in the medical profession know what a tier 3 injury is a tier 1 injury is more severe, so I think that's why the beds are named that way, right? So this one actually is more of like a full-on, and you can do a regen in this tier right now, but that's going to change as well, I think. Because we just don't have tier 2 injuries. So they're giving us regeneration. It's always good to go to a conference and get some free healing. Oh wow, yeah, you've got some buybacks. I don't think my buyback's that high. These are just some storage rooms. I do like that these are kind of manual doors. That's what you'd expect in a medical facility. That you wouldn't want those auto opening. Yeah, I was really surprised when I went through my whole entire fleet, and most surprised by that huge savings on my 600i. I just cannot believe how much money it would cost for me, how much money I would lose if I just rebought that ship right now in today's dollars. Just kind of walking around here. I'm not really pushing through. Yeah. The cartography deck. You know, even if you get lost in this ship, you're not really lost. You can find one of these elevators. We were just here in the medical and just find an elevator. I believe this one is an inner. Let's go to the technical deck. I think this is the one I just jumped through. Yeah, there's a lot to, you know, this is a big ship, of course. And here's the where we started with the bridge, kind of the fake bridge. And this, I think, is just an elevator to go to the other bridge. If you want to take an elevator, you have to take it up, but you don't have to take it down, which is kind of cool. Am I in the upper bridge? Yeah. Oops, I did that backwards. I do like the fact that you can control this ship from 2 different locations. I don't really know what the use of that would be. I guess I was watching one video where somebody was saying that they always use the second upper control. And they do that because if something happens to them, somebody else, you know, like his character gets stuck, his people who are teaming with him can use the proper one to fly the ship while he's sort of stalled, which is a very Star Citizen thing to do. So I am, let's see here, subdeck. How do I get out of this ship? Is it the hab or it's sub? I forget which one connects to the cargo. Yeah, this is the way out. And these do work, right? I think I can go down. Yeah, I can go down into the pod. Just really can't get anything in here right now except for automatic cargo load. Oh, excuse me. Fairly big bay here. Plenty of room. What I didn't do is take a look at the paint while we're inside. Let's see if I can do that while I'm just in the bay. Sorry, my apologies. That's really the big thing people are probably interested in. Yeah, good. And that's about as far back as I can go. But oh, look at that. Ooh, I'm running into some walls here because I'm so far back. So I'll try not to do that, but yeah, you really have to take this thing out into space to get a good look at it. But I like that. I think that gray and red, it's almost like a matte black, and that red just really is a good pairing of colors. And all the Best in Show paints, I think, great job. They did a great job on them. To find my way out. Now, yeah, this is a little unnecessary, these. I mean, I guess it isn't. It's pretty heavy, but the physics of that. That's my one criticism of how they did some of these bay doors and some of these ships is you got this great wide access and you put two things that are right in the way of getting a slightly wider vehicle in there. Now, of course, with the character, probably not a big deal, but normally you'd throw those guys right up here, and then you'd extend the bay door some way, and then you'd get more clearance. But this isn't a, you know, a drop ship. It's an exploration ship. So, you know, you get what you got. Now, there is one huge curveball, and that would be if I don't think you can rent these. Oh, you can. Yeah, let's rent it and take it out. So we two things there. One is this would be a yeah. I tried to get a better angle with the camera, and I was far back out. But going in, there's such a slight line there. But yeah, we'll do. This is kind of. Oh, I do want to go check out the downstairs. Let's do that. Let's do that before I forget. So this is just some kind of interesting. Never seen this before, where they just have like armor out. Interesting choice that they have this armor. Interesting little lore there. Are you going to say something?
My name's Special Agent Rowena Dooley.
Oh, okay.
Since becoming attaché to Stanton's Civilian Defense Force, I've had the honor to work with the most courageous and selfless people the Empire has to offer. Over the past few years, the CDF has proven to not only be an effective way to support local security, but also an incredible way to build the community. I would like to thank the IAE for the opportunity to recognize our past and present volunteers who make the system a safer place.
Okay, that was kind of interesting. You know, when I go to real conventions, I make it a point to like take a shot of all these displays, because you know when you're looking at photos from a year later or whatever, it's kind of nice to at least get some of the information passed down. Now this is kind of cool. Looks like we can buy some weapons. Some interesting. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I need to get more into the specs of weapons as well as my learning curve continues to grow. Now this looks cool. Interesting. This was originally designed for miners. Okay. Oh yeah, you can totally. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what the armor looks like. I've never seen that backpack before. Is that glitching? Into... Yeah, that's not how that backpack is supposed to be worn. That's glitching, I would say. It's supposed to be turned the other way. Let's see if his backpack is... kind of looks glitched too, doesn't it? Yeah, looks like it's kind of the wrong angle. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Oops. Ran into another character there. Now, can I buy these? Yeah, I can buy that one. That's kind of cool. Or buy some of it. But I didn't see... Oh, yeah. Yeah. But look at this. It has like the looting options. Turn over what I'm assuming is body. Drag body. Should I try to drag the body? It's not going to let me drag the body. But yeah, you can buy. So that's a helmet. Wish it was a kiosk because this is always no fun. But yeah, I want to buy this armor. Oh, it's selecting pretty well. Usually you can't get the arms or something. But that looks cool. I'll definitely wear this next time I go mining. Actually kind of looks like a medical as well. There's the backpack. An error has occurred. Oh no, but I need the red backpack. You've given me everything. Give me the backpack. Okay, well, I'm not going to wear this unless I get the backpack. So, this is kind of cool too. Yeah, now the purchasing is aired out. That's too bad. Let's at least see if we can get this. This would be the undersuit. Nah, purchasing is bummed out. That's too bad. Yeah, I see the backpacks in these things are just total bug. Yeah, that's too bad. Well, we tried. Maybe if I'm playing later, I'll come back. I think that's going to be it, if I'm not mistaken. There's only one lower level access, and we've done that. Let's go check the map and make sure we didn't miss anything. I think we got it all. There's not much here, of course, because this is just the best in show. And the map is buggy. But yeah, we went down to the lower area and saw what was there. Is this better? No. But we did see it all, and we're going to end up with that little guy in my hangar. And we did rent the Carrack, so let's go take that out. Because I've never flown a Carrack before. I rented it, and I didn't get it out. But I'm definitely going to take that thing out for a spin. And that's the one big curveball, by the way. I don't know if you guys want to see this. It's kind of cool, but I'm not going to stay for the whole show because I want to get that Carrack out there. Yeah, let's go take the Carrack out, and then we'll take a closer look at that paint. Now, that is the one wrecking ball to my plan, is the Carrack. Because if I love that ship, because I purchased the 890 in game, but the Carrack is kind of it's been referred to as the poor man's 890, and you know, that would be the case. Like if I had a Carrack, that would serve about all the needs I have for the 890. It's not as luxurious, of course, and I am a fan of Origin. And oh, let's make that train. So yeah, that would be the kind of curveball. If I find a way to get a Carrack, which I think right now, there's a couple of ways you could outright buy it, or you can get it with some of the other combo purchases. We're going to wait for this stop. Yeah, there's a couple of ships where you can get a Carrack as the loaner. And the Odyssey is one of them. The Galaxy is the other. I think that's it. Yeah. But of course, the Galaxy, I'm just looking at that up right now. It's 380. So I could pull the trigger on that's because that's the concept value of the Galaxy. Because I wouldn't want to war bond it. That would be a straight up 350, and I don't want the Carrack that badly. This is our stop. But we'll see if I really do want the Carrack. I think if you buy the... Oops, let's see here. Yeah, so the Carrack's 600. So if you really wanted the Carrack in your hangar, buying the Galaxy would be the smart move. Because the Galaxy's not coming out anytime soon. And so really, I would... Yeah, if I pushed to get the Carrack on top of everything, then I'd be putting in some new money. Which is fine, because, you know... If I love the Carrack, but I'd have to... I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm not sure I'm going to love the Carrack that much. But it would be nice to have. But I think I'd want it more if I didn't have the 890 in-game. You know what I mean? And you can buy the Carrack in-game too. That would give me something to grind for. It's like looking at New Babbage when it's daytime. Okay, enough of that.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
There she is, the Carrack. I guess I have to... Ooh, I have to call... Like, what's the claim time on that? 11 hours? Am I reading that right? It's 11 hours and 6 minutes? We'll fly to Area 18. I think we can get there faster.
Interstellar spaceport.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Pisces. I just want to see what else is here. We took the Phoenix here.
Be sure to explore all New Babbage has to offer. Whether it's the latest in cutting-edge technology or the beauty of our award-winning gardens.
Now, I think we can get there in one run with the Pisces, but we'll find out.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Hangar 9. There it was. I mean, we left the expo for the last time, so it's been a good week. We've seen just a ton of great ships. I am going back through my streams for each of the days and doing some chapter markers. So if you're interested in checking out what I saw, if there's a specific ship, I'm trying to do a chapter marker for that ship. And it's a little slow going because it does require reviewing everything I've already filmed. And some of these streams got pretty long. But I will do that to all my streams moving forward, and I will finish up those chapter markers for the expo so that you can take a look at what we have. Now, I don't have refueling here because New Babbage refueling is bugged, so unfortunately I am going to have to make a stop. I still love this Pisces. I still love this blue. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a quick refuel. Probably could have spawned something else, but the Carrack is gonna, if that is correct, that it is 11 hours, it'll be faster for us to fly. Even with a pit stop, it'll be faster for us to fly to Area 18 and then go check it out. Yeah, so it does make sense if you're all into the Carrack and you're like, I want the Carrack. It would be smarter for you to purchase the Galaxy if you're looking to minimize the amount of new money you're spending. Drop hammer. So you are. It is a bit weird to apply the store credit. But what I would make sure is that you apply. Well, I'm going to be doing some melting here. So you did an exchange, and that money should be in your account, obviously right away. And when you click on your account, it appears in that little kind of overlay with how much store credit you have. So I would first check there to make sure that it is indeed there, because you want to make sure you have your money. If not, I've never not known that to be instantaneous. So that would be either something with how you exchanged it or refunded it. And that might be a tech call. Might need to put in a ticket or something with on the RSI website. Now, if the money is there, if the store credit is there, then of course to apply the store credit, it will show that you have 0, but that I think is an indicator that you've applied 0 store credit from your available credit. And that's on checkout. It'll be on the right side, and you'll tap there and it'll say, hey, you've got X amount of dollars, and you have to manually type in how much you want to apply to your purchase. So just be careful about that. So there's 2 places. One is make sure you've got your credit, and then that would be a problem with the applying the credit from the refund. And you can find that again on your account tab. When you click on your account, that overlay will slide over from the right, and it'll have your name and settings and your hanger link and other things there. But on the right, it'll give you your current store credit. You'll also see your UEC value if you have any credit there, or your rec currencies. The rec is for rentals in Squadron, and the UEC is the currency that you'll have once the game goes live. So I would check that. Yes, Drophammer. Yeah, you had me worried. I was very nervous for you. But yeah, it is. It looks like you have no store credit. You have to go apply it, and it's on the right, and it's just there waiting to be used. So I'm glad you sorted that out, because that would be no fun. So we're gonna hit the Cruel L3. I'm just gonna verify. Yeah, I cannot refuel there. Arc L4 I can. So we're going to go there. Refuel. I could do it at the space station, but yes, you have to manually type in, I want to use $30 of my $50. Which is nice, of course, but I thought for a while there too I lost some credits the first time I did it, because, well, it's not obvious. It's not very user-friendly. It's kind of off to the right where you think but once you know what you're looking for, you can spot it pretty quickly. Doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like a baby MSR. Setting my camera up. That's a little better. I think you can exchange the game package too, I believe. You just have to have one. They won't let you exchange all your game packages. But I happen to, I think the first purchase I made for a ship was a mistake, and I bought another game package not knowing I could buy the standalone ship at that point. And I refunded that. Probably my favorite thing to do here with these camera angles is it's really nice to be, you know, kind of in the cockpit view and jump right to the angle shot you want like that. That's so cool, as opposed to this really janky transition and then you moving your camera around to find what you want. Just so cool. I really like that one. I had no idea that a concierge did not need a game package. Ah, interesting. So I might be able to squeak out a bit more store credit if I refund my original store package, game package. Hey Squirrel, welcome to the stream. We just went through a whole bunch of stuff, checked out the expo. And now what I'm doing is I'm heading to Area 18 via a refuel stop here at ARC L4 because I want to go check out the Carrack that I just rented. And, you know, I'm warming up to the idea of putting just getting the Galaxy and using a little bit of new money after I do all of my upgrades and everything. That would be nice to have a Carrack in my hangar. But I don't know if I'm going to use it. You know, am I really going to put that thing to use? I don't know. People love their Carracks. Yeah, see, Drop Hammer, I didn't know that that was even possible for them to let you not have a game package. But it might be that you... now, the MSR doesn't come in a game package, I don't believe. Hey, Rennie, welcome to the stream. Yeah, again, I used to feel very guilty about going into third person, and then I'm like, you know what? Fewer crashes. So let's just do what you need to do, right? So you want to see trick landing? I get it. My preference is to survive. So just gonna do a quick refuel here, assuming it lets me. Renee, like, I think a lot of people are screaming out their numbers and cursing the game. I know I am, because I'm toying with the idea of, okay, so when we jump, I'll go over kind of my game plan here that I came up with that I'm gonna do, and yeah, drop hammer. You're gonna want that monocle, and don't forget you get a top hat as well. You get a top hat, so it's extra value. But let's jump to we're gonna hit area 18, and while we jump, I'll kind of... Oh, we're going to go right past that mobile gun, whatever those are called, a Centurion or whatever. I forgot to raise my landing gear. That's cool. So yeah, here's what the game plan is for me. I am going to be purchasing the Vulcan, which is a refuel, repair, restock, one-man ship. And so the loaner for that will be the Starfarer. So I'll have a Starfarer. I'm going to get the Gladius because I want that in my hangar. Because part of this is melting some other things that I didn't need. I'm going to melt the Cutlass Red because I've got the Pisces, and I'm actually going to get it back later on. I've got some, kind of some swaps to clean up my hangar a little bit. Like, I melted the Hawk, or upgraded the Hawk to the C1. I'm just going to refund that and purchase another C1. The loaner for that is the Cutlass Black. I'm going to melt my MSR and upgrade it to the Best in Show MSR. A little bit of money thrown in there, but I have plenty of store credit to do that, and I'll get some more insurance. And I'm probably going to do the same thing with my Prospector. I'm just for $5 additional, I'll own... That's also some cleanup. That's an upgrade, CCU upgrade, the Prospector. So I'll own that outright, and then I'll get the bonus insurance for that for just $5. That's I think worth it. Then I'm going to use the rest of my store credit to buy a raft, either a hull A or a hull B, which will end up with a hull A in my cargo. And then the one that I actually now think I might reconsider is the Apollo. That's $250 of store credit. I'll have to apply on that, but I'll get my Cutlass Red back. But I don't really need the Cutlass Red, but I would like the Apollo when that comes out. So I might decide to not do that if I buy the Carrack. Because then I'm going to do the 400i. I'm going to swap that out for the same amount of money. I'm going to melt it and rebuy it, and I'm going to get some more insurance for that. Yeah. So right now, I think that, the Carrack is the only variable for me. But I will end up with a some new ships and some ships that I've purchased in game that I want kind of in my hangar permanently. Like the Gladius, I definitely want to keep one fighter. That's the one I've decided to keep. I definitely want my MSR back. I definitely want my Prospector back. I'm okay keeping the C1 in concept and not really interested in that loaner, but I will end up with a Raft and a Hull A and maybe a Carrack, or maybe get my Cutlass Red back. But with this ship, I don't really need a Cutlass Red, so I don't know why. You know, but I was kind of interested in the Apollo, but I don't know. So there's a little back and forth here a little bit, but we're flying to Area 18 right now, and we're going to pick up the rented Carrack, and I have never flown it, so fly it first here and see how I feel about that. I'm a little concerned that there's zero weaponry, but it would be nice to have a ship that is in my hangar, because I don't own an 890, and the Carrack would be my replacement for the 890 when that gets wiped in 318. So, that's kind of the game plan. It would be nice to have the Carrack. That's, really for the org and getting a bunch of people on a big ship. I would like to have, and the Carrack could kind of serve that need. And then I could grind for the 890, like everybody else. When the wipe comes, I'll be grinding for that ship to come back. But also, yeah, because there's no way to buy an 890 right now. But I could have pooled all my money and all the money I had in my hangar with ships that really I just wasn't using or don't want anymore. I had enough to get an 890 and then some, but unfortunately I didn't even think about that before it went on sale and sold out. Hey, Moonraker. Yeah. I don't know if I said hello to you or not. I believe I did, so hello. I see you were chatting before, and I read your chat. We just got to find where we got to land. Looks like it's straight ahead. Yeah, the distribution will be... It will be a process. If you're a subscriber, sometimes you don't even get your sub items for a week or more, which is fine. I mean, I'm usually not in a hurry to get them, but yeah, their rollout process takes some time. So I think the way it's gonna end up for me today, at the end of this stream, is I'm either going to have about, say, around $150 in store credit just sitting there, which I don't know how everybody feels about that, or I'm going to put in a little bit more money and end up with a Carrack in my hangar by purchasing the Galaxy concept. So, yeah, could go either way. But, again, and I can always melt the Galaxy. I'm not really interested in the Galaxy. I'm literally just interested in the loaner ship. But if you have the Carrack as a loaner ship, I believe... yeah, I mean, it's... I don't think you can name a Carrack. Yeah, I don't know if I've gotten my sub-items. I guess I could check when we land on, at Area 18. This is my home. The concept ship I am the most excited about is the Vulcan. After just looking at all the... Now, of course, there's some other larger ones, but in the smaller side, or the lower price points, I'm excited for the Expanse, which I have, and I'm excited for the Vulcan. Both of those game loops, I think I'd be really excited in.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure I really like the red enough to even want it back as a loaner ship. Now that I have this thing. Of course, before then, it was a nice thing to have. I guess that one does have 2 med beds. But how often do you really need 2 medical beds? I don't think I need them. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten my sub. We're going to check that. Not really sure what the sub item was this month. But let's take a look. A bunch of random things here. I've got 1 spare Zeus suit here that we did do a giveaway for, but hasn't been claimed. This party animal, that was a plushie giveaway. A bunch of looted stuff. Yeah, I've had this weird loot bug where I get dupes at Area 18. I clear out Area 18 and take everything to Arc L1 on a regular basis. And I also have these things. Check these out. These are placeholders. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. I've done a character reset. I've contacted CIG. And they are not going away. And you can't drop them. Can't put them in your hand. You can't arm yourself with them. They're just these placeholder things. I did, but I looked at... Yeah, I guess I should have, but I did try to move forward, but I guess I could have moved even more forward and landed in this circle. I usually try to, because I got the ridiculously large hangar for my ship. Yeah, so if I don't want a Cuddy Red, I'm just talking out with you guys, if you don't mind. If I don't want a Cuddy Red, then I really wouldn't buy the Apollo. I guess I could kind of wait and see on that, on the Apollo, because there's no sign of when that's coming out. And if I didn't get the Apollo, that makes the Carrack even more attractive.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So we're going to take this out.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
And on our core, all
has been delivered to the following location again.
Now, I have to admit, I'm not... the layout of the Carrack, I'm still getting kind of used to. So if you see me fumbling around, although I think it's a pretty intuitive layout, but there are a few places where you can kind of end up on the wrong level. Now, I don't know if it's going to rent me the Best in Show version. It looks like it did. Yeah, it definitely did. So the question I have is, is the Carrack a nameable ship? Because if you get it as a loaner, I don't think you get to name it. It'll show up in your hangar as whatever it is. There's the ship. Yeah, that's a nice paint. Looks like that even includes the inside of this door with that red stripe on the inside. That's kind of cool. I was once rescued in a Carrack. A guy literally brought a Carrack. What's that? Oh, this is the same, okay, yeah. Not in all the anvils, but, in the Valkyrie and, what's the other ship that has this door? They call it a door in the Valkyrie, but, they call it a ramp here. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you know, because I could definitely do some trading in the, Carrack, right? But I'm a little concerned about no weapons. You know, if you solo a Carrack, you have no weapons. And that concerns me a little bit. So we take this all the way to the elevator. And let me see here. So I think it's the... Is it the technical deck that has the standard? I think so. Does this lead me to... No, I'm going the wrong way. And what's that? That's not going to lead me to the... I know what that does. Elevator. And this just leads me around. I don't want that. Yeah, I definitely have to learn the layout of this ship. Especially if I buy it. Okay, so Hab. I was on the technical. I know this takes me to... I'm just going to check this. Just to familiarize myself with this ship. That's medical. That's the room. Okay, yeah, so this is... So I want to go to Hab to get to the regular bridge. Got it. Got it. And then I got a nice little elevator in here that takes me to and from the other bridge. So, okay. I wanted to fly here. Again, I've never flown this ship before. I've only been in it maybe a few times while I was rescued in one, and I wasn't really in a position to go explore because I was dying. Okay. All right, so far so good. Yeah, because I could now. I'm curious. Does anyone know if you can? Is a Carrick a nameable ship? Anyone know the answer to that? I'm not sure if it is. Not that it totally matters, but that would just be a little icing on the cake if you could name your Carrick. Okay, let's see this. It's a big ship, but it takes off fine. Yeah, Moonraker, this is my concern about having this ship as something that I do. I'm a solo player a lot too. I go mining, I do box missions. Both of those are overkill for the Carrick. However, I do do some things with the org where we kind of, it would be nice to have, as the org is growing, to start doing, meetups in the ship. And of course I purchased an in-game 890, but this also has kind of a meeting room. It's not as luxury focused. And you know what? You don't really have... Yeah, if you had a couple of people, this would definitely be... like taking the 890 out is kind of a group affair. I do like this red paint. So really it kind of comes down for me... kind of a why not moment, because it's like if I do all the ship purchasing and swap, all the swapping that I really have planned out, the question is, would you, after all that's done, would you want to have like like $150 in store credits sitting there, just sitting there, unused, which seems like wasteful? Or do I sacrifice buying one of the concept ships that I was going to buy, and then instead buy the Galaxy, and that'll get me a Carrick in my hangar? I think it's kind of a no-brainer. That it just bugs me to have, because I can always melt this, right? I could always melt this and go back and reconfigure the next time there's a ship sale or there's another ship that I want. But I don't need the Cutlass Red. So the kind of the open-ended question, which I think I've answered myself, is would I rather have a Carrick in my hangar today, or would I rather have a Cutlass Red and some store credit? I think I know my own answer to that question. Especially since I'm kind of on a deadline, right? We're all on this availability deadline. And then really, I do love the 890. And so if I'm going to grind for a ship, in game to buy, it's going to be the 890. that's just, you know, like Moonraker, like your Carrick, you love that because, you know, that's kind of more your style. And mine is kind of Origin. I appreciate these ships, by the way. It's not that I don't like these ships. I love this ship. But I kind of also like the luxury ships, and this isn't a luxury ship. This is just a it's the big multiplayer ship that you want to have. So I could see having some fun with this ship for sure. Hey, Krusty. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Now, Moonraker, I don't know if you caught this, but guess what I'm going to be buying today with some store credit? A raft. Yeah, I bought it in-game, but you know what? As part of my swap around, I'm gonna end up with a raft. That's one of the ones I included on my I must have in my hangar. And really, this is kind of just a ton of swapping going on here, because I just melted a bunch of ships that I kind of had a little bit of a spending spree a while ago where I was buying fighters, and I'm like, why do I have all these fighters? I just need one, and so I settled on the Gladius, and then I melted the rest and started this chain reaction, which is going to end up with me with a raft. I love it and all of its flaws and everything. Now I should really kind of be exploring this ship so I can just kind of seal the deal if this is really what I want to do. But to be honest with you, I kind of already have decided that's what I want to do. Because that'll give me just a little bit more money in. So CIG will be happy. Because there'll just be a little bit more of my money dumped into the game. So I can end up with this great ship. Because I can think of all the fun adventures we might have in this ship. For sure. Yeah. Who am I kidding, right? I don't want to see money sitting in a bank account. I'd rather see it in the form of a 3D JPEG. So, yeah, so I've got a lot of swapping and money, credits and stuff like that to melting and all kinds of stuff. So my updated plan is to really, I think I'm going to push for the Carrick. Yeah, I want this thing in my hangar, but I'm not going to outright own it. I'm going to own it by buying the in-concept Galaxy. So that'll get me this. Yeah, I think that's a good swap. So yeah, it's getting more complicated. More money's moving around. More credits are moving around. More things may be melted. But at the end of the day, I'm going to end up with a Starfarer, a Gladius, which I've never had, an updated MSR, an updated Prospector, a Raft will now be in my hangar, a Hull A will be in my hangar, an updated 400i, and a Carrick will be in my hangar. The Carrick's new. Yeah, so Krusty, that's kind of my number one money-making ship, hands down, historically and ever since I've played this game, has been the Prospector. It is a $150 or $155 ship, and that has made me more money. And in fact, if you think about it from the perspective of the actual real dollar investment to money making in the game, And because of how expensive fighters can be and how much their flight model changes and has been changing and being fine-tuned and it's going to be fine-tuned, and how much that might impact your ability to make money with the fighters, I still would propose that if you like mining, the Prospector is the best money-making ship you can buy in the game. So I will own. In fact, I have a loaner Prospector, but I'm still going to keep my main Prospector. I won't melt that ever. After that, for money making, I think now of course the concept Vulcan isn't in game, but I think that's going to be a money maker as well. Yep, I've got the Grey Cat Rock as well, which I purchased with real money for the same reason. I don't even want to earn the money on day one to get a rock. I want to be able to do that. And my strategy has been I use the Grey Cat Rock to help fund my Quantanium money, to pay for the work orders, keep money coming in instantly while I wait for those work orders. I do have plenty of ships to transport the Grey Cat Rock. Right now, the Valkyrie and the MSR are my two. Yeah, I went through my entire fleet and I found out that, I upgraded my Freelancer Max. So I'll be kind of wiping that a little bit too. Just flying around, and what I wanted to do is take this to Magda. I mean, we're not judging this on flying, but it does fly better than an 890. It handles better than an 890 jump. But let's take this to Magda and then I think I'll find a spot. Actually, what would be cool if we can land. Well, I'm gonna land this thing on a. We'll take it down to the surface on the light side and land it. Yeah, I can tell it's a bigger ship. Let's see if HGMS Han is on the light side, just to get to a jump point. That's a nice lineup, Moonraker. The Corsair, I opted to not get it, but I think if I didn't have the Valkyrie and the MSR, and if those weren't available or whatever, I think the Corsair would be a good option for me. But right now, yeah, so this will be the largest in-game ship that I have owned. With real money. But I'm excited, actually. This is a whole new thing for me to have a ship of this size, and I would like to just, it'd be nice to have this thing in my hangar. And if I really like it, because this will be a loaner, because I'm going to buy the Galaxy, save myself $100. Of course, if I don't get, I might as well just take this thing as a loaner. There's no reason to spend the extra 100. don't think. I like this ship. You know, for a big ship, it flies really well. I think it flies really well, actually. Pardon my setting up the camera because I know I'm going to buy this thing, so I'm going to want to have some good camera angles, but okay, that's cool. And do I have my landing gear done? No, I don't. Okay, so those do rotate for the landing. Okay, cool. And I think it automatically kind of just puts me in a VTOL mode, which is cool too. So I might be showing up with this bad boy on our next ship show. Not really my ship show. It's Space Bub does a bunch of those. I think the Corsair is a much more interesting ship too, Moonraker, than the Freelancer Max. The Freelancer Max is a good but quite boring, and I say that, you know, with love, but it is kind of a boring ship, isn't it? Now, I did do what I do. Okay, so that's interesting. There is there's front landing gear, but you do... Okay, so it sits kind of funny. Let me just get into first person here. Yeah. I'm also curious about flying this in the other bridge. That would be not what I wanted to. Got confused about which landing pad I was on. Normally don't fumble this much with a new ship. But I think the reason why it's confusing to me is it feels like a smaller ship than it actually is. When you're flying, it's much more responsive than I think its size warrants. But you could live off this ship. It has all the facilities. Oh, see, yeah, now I'm kind of getting excited about having this ship. And kind of digging into the little nooks and crannies of the ship that I have not played around with. So here's all of our server bays. That's great, because this is supposed to be an exploration. I'm going to stay on this hab level. We get a pool table. That's kind of cool. There's kind of a nice little eating area / meeting room. Let's pop in there. So yeah, for the org, this would be great. Have everybody jump on the Carrack, and now this doesn't open, but that's fine. I don't know what that is. Not much of a view, but you do get a little slit window there. That's kind of cool. Do these work? No, those don't work. But I know that they're making these available on other ships. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. I missed the captain's quarters. Okay, let's go check those out. I'm assuming they're back here. Okay, yeah, I walked right past from the bridge. Okay, you get yeah, that's kind of cool. You get a nice little desk here. As people come in, you can say, take a seat. Sorry, don't have a seat. I'm busy here looking at my pad of numbers and got my iPad here. I guess I'm a smoker. Got a nice little thing there. I got my coffee. Come on in. Now this is just a nothing. I'm fooled by the shape of the door. Because that's kind of the shape. That's how I got in. And I must have a bed, kind of a bedroom area here. No frills bed. And a bath. And a little storage. Okay. I've got my own separate toilet and shower. The perks of being the captain, I guess. Got some body wash and shampoo. Okay. It's looking good. Okay, so bridge, captain's quarters, rec area. I get like instant access to these guys. I can go play pool, and the rest of the crew has to make their way to the pool room. Sorry. No, they get better access. Yeah, they've got their own couch here. A couple of bunk beds. Maybe this is the first officer. They get kind of their own beds. So, yeah, 5 beds here for the crew. And then they all have to share the same bathroom, which just kind of looks similar. There's a double sink. And these are behind doors. These are the shower. Is this the shower toilet? Well, they can figure that out. Two SEU box. Moonraker says he used to keep a 2 SEU box at the empty wall by the desk in the captain's quarters. Right here. Oh. Yeah, that's a great spot. Looks like it's even designed for that. A little spot there for the 2 SEU. Nice. Now he gets a bit of a window. Now, I know we looked at this ship. I didn't look through it, actually, when it was Anvil Day. I didn't. Now, I'm excited about a couple of things with this ship. Of course, the medical. Medical is super cool. I'm going to pop in there and top off, actually. Got to manually open these doors, which makes sense because that's a... decontamination room. I did not mean to sit. Let's lie down. Do a recharge here. Yeah, Moonraker, I'm right on there. Yeah, with the stream delay, we were thinking probably at the exact same time. I need to top off here. Now this does not seem to be recharging me. I'm wondering if it's just this bed. This is a medical bed, though. I guess you're right. I did sit in that other one, but I thought all med beds recharged you, even the low tier 3. But I think you're right. So the other ones are lower than the ones that are in the red. Yeah, you're right. I'm recharging now. Okay, this Carrick has now won me over. I'm not sure what those other small beds would be for very, very, very minor injuries, but I thought all beds refueled you because that was like the lowest tier of health is... Okay. I mean, right now, it seems like a no-brainer. Why would I want a Cutlass Red in my hangar if I could have this? I'm not even losing medical beds. And this is a regen point. So huge win there. Just kind of heading back to the bridge here. You know, make sure I didn't miss anything. But I think the other thing that I like about this is I know you can access the... so that's all medical. We're walking around the medical. And this is the elevator. Okay. I think the other thing that I like about this is the way the front bay works. Which I think is the cartography. This, yeah, Moonraker. You could throw your medical Pisces in here. And you'd be good to go. For medical support. Just kind of a cartography room here. Those will become more valuable, I think, once we do data running, because that's the whole point of those. There's the elevator. Escape pod. And this airlock. This is the other part I really like. Where you really get a good bird's eye view of the and you can of the bay, the top bay. And now I'm out here. Out on the top of the ship. I think, you know, this is really handy. Somebody can come land here on your Carrick and walk right into your ship. Does that look damaged to you? Or is that just the Carrick way? Yeah, that looks like it's missing something. And then you get the nice bird's eye view of the person coming in. Okay. Yeah, I could live on this ship. I could live on this ship for sure. That's an escape pod. Okay. And so that's the front bay. We're at the cartography. The technical deck we've been on. Let's head there real quick. Yeah, and so this would be the bay, right? Yeah. Okay. That's a turret. And this would be engineering. Okay. Oh, look at that. Drake would be jealous of this engineering room. And here's your engineering station. No, actually, it's not. This heads down into into another room. Okay. do a quick slide here. This is all engineering. With an elevator. Okay, cool. Oh man, there's so much to explore on this ship. That's a fuel tank with some components. Yeah, you're going to need to recharge just to have enough. You could spend all day exploring. There's another component room. Okay. Kind of cool. Now, I'm curious. This is another elevator that leads, I'm assuming. Is it an elevator? Looks like an elevator. Call elevator. Well, I've already called it. Oh, maybe it's not here. Yeah, there it is. Upper engineering, lower engineering. Yeah, you've got your own elevator. Oh, yeah, this is very cool. This is where Scotty lives, and he's like, I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. He's going to be over here yelling that to the bridge. That's just a manual way to do that. Okay, cool. Oh, this is kind of a cool, like I could see this. This really would play well if you're doing engineering as a game loop. You've got quite a bit of room in this ship to do a few things. It's not cramped in multi-purpose room. Nice little turret there. I'm kind of starting to get my way around now. I kind of know where I am. Famous last words before you get lost. Yeah, but there's the main elevator. I knew that. I do like these windows. Yeah, Mordred, that's exactly the plan. I'm going to buy the Galaxy instead of spending the full 600 to get this ship. Because why not, right? If you love this ship, and then of course I can decide what I want to do when the Galaxy comes out. Yeah, I said that before too, Mordred. I do. Yeah, I'm aware of its its limitation is that you don't have any weaponry. But you know what? While I may solo this, I think it's more likely that this will be with some friends. And you know what? The 890 has weaponry, but not so wait a second. Yes, thank you, Drophammer. Yeah, I've been. We are doing really well here. We are at. We're approaching 50 subs, and yeah, if you have a few seconds to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Because that does help me. Helps the channel, as you're probably all very much aware. I think that's the game plan. Just run away, right? Just run away if you have to. So to get out of the ship, I need to be in the level above this, I think. I could be wrong about that. Still finding my way, but I think no, I think I'm wrong about that because that leads out. I don't think we know very much about the Galaxy at all. You know, when you get a new ship this big, finding your way. Okay, so I want to go to get out of here. It's not the subdeck, is it? I think it might be. It is. Yeah, as soon as I find these rooms, I know I'm in the right. So this is the sub deck, which would make sense. I just need to remember that. Okay. It's cargo. You got to pass through the cargo to get to the back bay. Yeah, Space Pub, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'll be checking out your stream later. I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon because I'm anxious to go buy some stuff. And, you know, of course, I don't want to necessarily do that. But then, yeah, the next time I stream, I'll have some new toys. Now, this is the only exit, right? Presuming you're not flying into the ship. You have this one ramp access. Yeah, there's no other, like, none of the elevators head down to the exterior of the ship. Which would be nice. I'm being honest. That's a long travel. Yeah, so you have the option of hitting that hangar in the front. This is the back. And the Carrack, you know, it has that front hangar load. But yeah, Space Web, thanks again for stopping by. We'll guys make sure to check out his stream. It's gonna be he's prepping for it right now. And I'm just about wrapping up, so I think the timing will be perfect. For you guys to head over to Space Bub and see what he's up to. I'm going to be putting this bad boy in my hangar, along with a couple of other ships that I'm excited to have. And it's going to end up being almost a wash for me financially, so why not, right? It's a good time to switch up your ships if you're not happy with what you have. Take an honest look at your one ship. Maybe you want to get rid of that one ship and replace it with another. This is the perfect time to do it. All the ships are on sale except for the limited run ships like the 890, but you probably already knew that if you wanted an 890. You'd know when you'd buy it. And I like that red too. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting swap here that I'm about to do. Well, you could be doing some looting in your Carrack and you'd have plenty of room. Interesting. Yeah, this is where we ended up. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is kind of call it here. Kind of go over what I'm thinking. And yes. Yes, Moonraker. I was aware that you can fly from the that observation deck. You can fly the ship. You get full control of the ship. And that is another selling feature for sure. Okay, I'm going to drop the link to Space Bub's stream. He's spinning up right now. Looks like he just went live. Go check him out as I say my goodbyes. So if you're interested in kind of where I landed, I'm going to basically it's going to be a wash. I'm going to pick up the Vulcan. That's going to get me the Starfarer. I'm going to pick up a Gladius, the Valiant variant. I'm going to melt my Cutlass Red. And I'm going to do a swap on the... I got to clean up the C1. It's an upgrade right now. I just want to buy it straight as concept. And Then I'm going to do this, basically the same thing with the MSR. So I'll end up with the best in show MSR. I'm going to melt and rebuy my prospector. I'm going to pick up the raft, the hull A, and then I'm going to get rid of and rebuy, or melt and rebuy the 400i for the same money. Get some more insurance banked in there. And then I'm going to pick up the Galaxy with my credit, and that'll give me a Carrack in my hangar. I think that's a pretty good plan. And like I said, financially, it's going to be a wash. I may still have a little bit of store credit, or throw a little new money in there, but not much. So that's great. I'm looking forward to that. I want to thank you all for joining me here on the stream. I know it's a bit of a shorter one, but I've got some things to do today, and wanted to get that stream out to you so you could see the best in show. And you can go back to your desk and check your math for your various upgrades and melts and buybacks and all that stuff. This is the time to do it. You have until the 1st, including the 1st, to make your decisions, and then all the big toy ships go back in the hangar, back in the vault, and you have to wait for the next big event before you're able to make such fun and enjoyable and potentially costly decisions. Thank you all. I'm Yentra. Please check out the Discord. We're giving a Drake Cutter away at the end of the month. Also, Space Pub's doing his own giveaway on the 29th. And he's going to be giving away Legionnaire and one other ship. The name escapes me. But check out his channel and more info on his Discord. And I'm going to try to join him when he does his giveaway, and I'll simulcast, get some people all in there. And I know he wants to get a bunch of people to sign up so he can make it fair and have as many people as he possibly can to have a shot at a new ship. So I've had a lot of fun, and I will see you all with some new ships, some new toys, some new things to check out tomorrow, when I've made all of the adjustments to my hangar and have some new toys to play around with. So we will see you all in the next one. Love and appreciate you all. We'll see you later. Oh, that's the wrong. You want this one.
Oh, we wildin', we drinking cherry wine and we dancing on an island. We going back the finest. Yeah, yeah, young Mr. Killer and call me señorita. I papi got me dreaming. My legs up on the ceiling. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know when he come, he ain't never gonna leave. Nah. Hit it the night run, and that's the way I wanna be. So don't think I'm the one to won't ever be enough. Mix until I know, bitch, I ain't the one. He don't want love. He just wanna fuck. Ow, little vacation. Drink it till we naked. Talking with our tongues. We just having fun.